For over a year, this channel has been making the assertion that Florida is no longer just a state within a country, but it is now operating in effect as its own independent, free, and sovereign republic. Some have pushed back. Some have said, Florida Maquis, we know things are good in Florida, but there's been no official, legal secession from the Union. Well, what do we know about Washington, D.C.? Criminals don't obey laws. They don't adhere to the rule of law. They don't recognize lawful orders. And they sure as heck don't recognize the Constitution. When our founding fathers began fighting for this nation, it was illegal at the time too. The colonies weren't recognized. There was no official legal separation from England. It had to be fought for. And they had to operate that way long before the Revolutionary War. That's exactly what's happening in Florida now. And in today's video, I have proof for this. I have an official document from within Florida that backs up my statement that we are a free, independent, and sovereign nation of our own. This is our Secretary of State, Laurel M. Lee. Her office has been directed by the Office of the Governor to begin investigating Facebook for criminal activities and manipulating the elections within our republic. This is official. flgov.com. Ron DeSantis, 46th governor of, no longer says state of, 46th governor of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis directs Florida Secretary of State to investigate Facebook for alleged violations of our election laws. His quote, "It is no secret that big tech censors have long enforced their own rules inconsistently. Floridians, deserve to know how much this corporate titan has influenced our elections. That is why I am directing Secretary Lee to use all legal means to uncover violations of Florida's election laws. The thought of Facebook clandestinely manipulating elections is an affront to the basic principles of our republic." Now, they paraphrase the quotes here, but in the official letter, which I have a copy of, it says something very different. Let's zoom this in real quick. The third and fourth paragraphs at the bottom. Speaking to the office of the Secretary of State, the governor states, "I hereby direct that your office immediately investigate this alleged election interference caused by Facebook through its whitelisting program and any other previously undisclosed program within Facebook in order to determine whether any violations of Florida's election laws took place. Your office should use all legal means to uncover any such violations, including but not limited to issuing subpoenas, conducting witness interviews, reviewing all available information, and consulting with law enforcement. The thought of technology companies clandestinely manipulating elections is an affront to the basic principles of our republic." Next sentence. Floridians deserve to have faith that their elections are fair and free from intrusion by big tech monopolies like Facebook. Sincerely, Governor Ron DeSantis. See, they're not referring to the formerly United States here. Floridians, Florida law. That's all that's being addressed here. Not only are we doing this, and believe me, we will perp walk these guys if we have to. There's something else we're doing too. Also yesterday, 27 September 2021, City of Gainesville, they've tried to push back against us, receives notification of fines for requiring employees to get vaccinated? No. For requiring employees to attest to vaccination status. That's right. We're going to fine the city of Gainesville $5,000 per event where they asked anyone to state for them whether they were vaccinated or not. And believe me, that's going to be a lot of money, even for Gainesville. Mayor of Gainesville, Lauren Poe, received a letter on Friday, 24 September, from Doug Woodliff, the Division Director for Emergency Preparedness and Community Support at the Florida Department of Health, notifying the city that they will be responsible for fines of $5,000 per employee for violating our law, requiring employees to attest to their vaccination status. The letter referred to a 12 August memo from City Manager Lee Feldman to the City Commission describing the charter officer's plan to implement a motion made by the Commission on August 5 under the section responding to the Commission's direction to create and implement a plan to require that all city employees receive the COVID vaccine. You see, just simply by asking the question, they've just violated the rights of the people of the Republic of Florida, and it will not stand. It doesn't matter how powerful you think Washington, D.C. is, they have no power in the state of Florida. They have no power in the state of Florida. We've also done this in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. All of those school districts that push back, they are all now adhering to our state law, and they are allowing opt-out measures. Because the state doesn't make medical decisions for you within Florida. Period. Now, on another note, that kind of goes along with this. It's something that Floridians have in common with Brazilians. We'll fight. We will fight back. And we will fight back and we will throw a punch. I know there are many out there in the states north of us that want to fight back, but they don't know how. You know, they look in their closet and they've got all of their ballistic weapons, and that's the only tool they have in their toolbox. See, when you only have a hammer in your toolbox, every problem you see starts to look like a nail. There are other ways to fight, and Brazilians are doing it. There are people in Brazil that just ain't having it from the globalists. And the thing about Brazil is that Brazil, as independent as Florida is, Brazil is far more independent. It's 10 times the size of Florida, but it's only about, if I remember right, as far as GDP, about 4 times as big. They're energy independent. They are food independent. And they are one of the world leaders, by the way, in technologies for generating power that are not slaved to fossil fuels, which gives them a huge advantage. They have an almost never-ending supply of natural resources, and they have people willing to fight for their independence. And if they've got to use the military there to take over the government, to keep the globalists out, they'll do it. And the world is watching Brazil right now because they could be the next great superpower. While other countries have waned and their power has diminished, they have been growing and getting stronger and getting financially more sound. And that's really the big thing. Brazil, financially, is much like Florida. Florida has $10 billion in reserve right now. Just the state of Florida, or the former state of Florida, I should say, has $10 billion in reserve. See, not only have we paid all of our bills, we got money in the bank. And we're generating more and more and more. People are screaming to get in here. How many people have moved here has been understated. It's my belief that we've already surpassed 23 million. It was 21 and some change. It wouldn't surprise me at all if 1 million people have moved here in the last 2 years. Because there's just almost nothing left. That's why for so many months I was begging people to move here. Because it was going to be something where eventually we're not going to need a wall. There's just going to be no place left to go. Our Secretary of State is going to put on a clinic, though. We're going to hold big tech accountable. And like I said, if we have to perp walk these people, whether it's Dorsey, whether it's Wasicki, or whether it's Zuckerberg, or whoever it is, we'll perp walk them. And I'll leave it there. God bless, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys later.